Okay, Mara Aviva, I think we're going to get started, and I'm going to pop off and make a few phone calls for some of the friends who have not showed up just yet, and I think we're going to be okay. I'm going to call some people.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Israel, and welcome everybody. It's so nice to see all of you. And we're going to actually kick this off with a welcome from Rabbi Dr. Kastan. Thank you so much. So I'm going to hand it over to you for a minute.
Thank you so much, Mara Aviva, not just for giving me the opportunity to speak to our students and all their wonderful families. It's so nice to see so many faces tonight. But really, thank you to Mara Aviva for putting together tonight. And more importantly, thank you, Mara Aviva, and the entire fourth grade team for your unbelievable work with our children every single week and teaching them this Torah. We appreciate everything that you do and everything that you give to our children. So to our students, to our dear students, tonight, what I really want to talk to you about is, first of all, let's acknowledge this incredible time that we get to spend together as soon as Shabbat ends, that we get to make this Havdalah together. Because Shabbat in itself is a time for us to stop and acknowledge Hashem's majesty of the world, and that we do not control the world, but rather Hashem controls the world. And we get to actually celebrate that every single week. And that's what I want to pause and just talk about for a couple moments tonight. In the last 2 weeks, both this Shabbat and last Shabbat, we actually went through the very famous story in Tanakh that actually talked to us about the 10 Makot, that actually talks to us about the plagues. And as we go through that, one of the things that really stands out to me every time I go through this story is when Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron, when they come to Paro and they start to bring upon the plagues onto the people, the Khartoumim, the sorcerers of Egypt, actually come and do a copycat. They actually do the very same thing that Moshe and Aaron can do, just to show we can do that also, because it's the power of mankind. It is not the power of your God. It is not the power of Hashem. And then Paro sends them away. And that happens again. And then it happens again. And really by Kinim is the first time that we see the sorcerers trying to do that, trying to copy. And finally they're like, oh, I can't do it. And what do they say? They actually go to Paro, Vayamru hachartumim el Paro, and they say to Paro, Etzba Elokim hi. It is the finger of God. It's not us. We can't do this anymore. It's not within our power. It's actually God. There is actually this being, this all-powerful being that is doing this, and it is not within our power. And that's a very powerful lesson. Unfortunately, then they go back and it still goes through the rest of the plagues, and Paro hardens his heart, as we know, and it continues as we know the story to go. But the message that I take away from this is that what happened to the sorcerers and what happens in Egypt, what happens in the story, is that it's a perfect example of when we forget that Hashem actually is in charge of the world. Our role is to help open up your eyes to the power and the majesty of Hashem, to help us appreciate all the daily miracles of the world, and that his finger is in all that we do and all that we accomplish, right? Because everything that we see, all the miracles around us, we might think that it's up to us. We might think that we did this because it's in our hands and because we're so smart and we can do everything. But really what we have to do is we have to stop, and we have that ability every single Shabbat as we celebrate a Havdalah right now together, to say that it is really about the Shabbat. It's about the time that we stop, because all week we do things in our hands and with our minds and with our bodies. And on Shabbat, we get to stop and we get to say all the miracles that I saw this week, every amazing thing that I've seen. Yes, it is because of my own hishtadlut that I'm trying and putting in my own efforts, but also it is etzba Elokim hi. It is the finger of God. So right now you are getting your Tanakh. And as you grow up and you mature from children into adolescence, we want you to maintain this appreciation. We want you to maintain this innocence. As adolescents, as you continue to grow up into adolescence and then become teenagers and go out into the world, you are going to begin to see more things that are more sophisticated. And it actually might seduce you and confuse you to a state of glorifying the innovation that is around you, to looking out at the world and saying, wow, look at what man is capable of. Look at all the incredible things we can create. And the truth is, as citizens of the world, as that we are trying to help raise you to understand your potential to make the world a better place, that is important to know what our potential is to make the world a better place. But it's even more important for us to acknowledge that through daily tefillah, through Torah learning, and through Shabbat, that our potential comes from one source. That is our hope in giving you this Tanakh. It is the blueprint of a life of deep appreciation for what we are capable of, but for also understanding that it is the finger of Hashem that is involved in all that we are able to accomplish along the way. So I give you a bracha. You should continue this excitement of learning. You should continue this enthusiasm of learning with Mor Aviva and with all of your teachers, and continue that as you grow up, and continue to remember that everything we do is right here in this blueprint, and it's because the finger of Hashem gives us the capability to do what we do. I give you a bracha to continue to appreciate that and to continue a life of that deep appreciation. Mazal tov and Shavua tov.
Hi. Okay. If you could take out your Havdalah sets that you so beautifully prepared, you guys can take those out now if you haven't already, and make sure everything is set up so that you can make Havdalah. Okay. Unwrap those candles and take out the samim. And you have a Kiddush cup and some grape juice in that bag too. Take all the things out you need. And Rabbi Pepper is going to lead us in Havdalah. But in order for you to halachically be obligated in your own Havdalah, you need to please be saying it along with him. You have the text, if you need it, on your backside of your program. So please make sure that you are joining in with him for Havdalah.
Hey, Shabbat Tov, everybody. We're ready. We have all of our Havdalah stuff ready. Thank you. Beautiful candle, our little summon bag. We have our grape juice ready. Shabbat Tov, everybody.
Hello. Thank you so much, Rabbi Pepper. That was beautiful. And thank you all, our wonderful families, for joining in with us. That really, everyone being together, even if only through Zoom, is such an impact. It makes it beautiful. My dear, wonderful students, it is almost time. This week's Parsha, we just finished only earlier today, is Parshat Bo. And in Parshat Bo, the Bnei Israel see so many makot. They see all these incredible wonders of Hashem. And yet, now, it's no longer last week. It's already Parshat B'Shalach as of right now. So, in the next Parsha, they come to the Yam Suf. And instead of going, oh, Hashem can do anything, right away they panic. They don't have the emunah, they don't have the faith, they don't believe enough. And they cry out and they're panicked. And Hashem does an amazing miracle and he splits the Yam Suf for them. But then we see time and time again, every time something seems to not be perfect, Bnei Israel complain. And when it finally comes time to enter Eretz Israel, we learn together the psukim. Instead of going and looking at all the good there is in the land, the huge fruit and all the amazing things, they only are able to see the bad. They only see that there are giants there, that it's scary, that it's going to be hard. You have amazed me this year, because there were so many opportunities for you guys to see the bad. And yet, every day you have come into my classroom and you've seen the good. You have excited me for learning more than I even thought I could be. You have made, you come in and you are so grateful to be in school. You are so grateful for every little thing that we do. And instead of focusing on the things that are hard or the things that aren't exactly the way we want them to be, you guys come in and you see every fun thing we do, and you're so appreciative and you're so grateful, and you yourselves come up with all kinds of ways to work around things and make it work. And you blow me away time after time, figuring out how you could learn from across the room from each other and still work together. And I could learn on Zoom, and you can learn off Zoom, and you can learn outside, and you guys are incredible. And that trait, that is the trait that was necessary for the generation who would get Eretz Yisrael. Because the generation that complained and saw the bad, they had to stay in the desert. Their children, they could receive Eretz Yisrael. They're the ones who we learn about together in Sefer Yoshua. They're the ones who could take Eretz Yisrael. So my bracha to you, as you're about to open your Tanachim, we're going to see a short video of our own learning, and how you parents, you can see just how much these wonderful, amazing children have made the good and found the good and have found a way to learn and enjoy learning Torah every day. I hope you keep that quality with you for life. I hope that you keep that quality of seeing the good and finding ways to make a tough situation great for the rest of your life. And that the Tanachim that you're about to open continue to take you on that journey. That you have those Tanachim that continue to inspire you and bring you close to Hashem, so that when things don't go perfectly, you have the emunah to know that Hashem is the one leading you in the right direction, and that even when it looks confusing and dark, you will find the light. You guys are absolutely amazing, and I'm so proud and blessed to be your teacher. Mazal tov.
ביקשתי בן, נתת לי, ביקשתי בת, נתת לי, ביקשתי בית עם המון ברכה, ממשפחה. את הפרנסה, נתת לי, את הבריאות, נתת לי, וגם את כל החסד בחיי, עד מדי. אבל אני יודע שיש עוד דבר, והוא בעצם העיקר. התפללתי ושמעת, נתת לי הכל. נתת לי בנים, נתת לי בנות, אני מאוד רוצה מכל אחד לראות הרבה נחת, הרבה נחת. נתת לי בנים, נתת לי בנות, אני מאוד רוצה מכל אחד לראות הרבה נחת, הרבה נחת. ביקשתי בן, נתת לי, ביקשתי בת, נתת לי, ביקשתי בית עם המון ברכה למשפחה. את הפרנסה, נתת לי, את הבריאות, נתת לי, וגם את כל החסד בחיי, עד בלי די. אבל אני יודע שיש עוד דבר, והוא בעצם העיקר. נתת לי בנים, נתת לי בנות, אני מאוד רוצה מכל אחד לראות הרבה נחת, הרבה נחת. נתת לי בנים, נתת לי בנות, אני מאוד רוצה מכל אחד לראות הרבה נחת, הרבה נחת. ויזכו לראות בנים, בנים ובני בנים, עוסקים בתורה ובמצוות ובמצוות. ויזכו לראות בנים, בנים ובני בנים, עוסקים בתורה ובמצוות ובמצוות.
הנה כל ישועתי אבטח ולא אבחן, כי עזי בזמרתך השם ויהי לי לישועה. ושאבתם מים בששון ממעייני הישועה, ויהי לי לישועה. ושאבתם מים בששון ממעייני הישועה. להשם הישועה, על עמך ברכתך סלה. Through the night, just don't have the fight. Holding to my heart, with you at my side. I'm gonna make it, 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 I'm gonna make it.
Okay. Thank you so much. I hope you guys can all open up your Tanachim now and see your beautiful names inside. All right. What would a Tanakh be if we didn't use it? So if you guys reach back into those wonderful bags that have been prepared for you, you will see an envelope in there. And in that envelope, there are two items. There is a beautiful piece of paper and a pencil. And on that pencil, you will see that it says, I know all the books of Tanakh, because you do. And you can use that pencil and your new Tanakh, and you have two sides on this sheet to work on with your family. On one side, you can see there's a picture of Havdalah said on the top. On that side, it's matching. You are going to look up the place on Tanakh on one side where it says, for example, the first one says Tehillim, Perek Gimel, Pasuk Tet, and you are going to see which pasuk from Havdalah is there, and you're going to do matching. You're going to find one of the pasukim from Havdalah on this side, and you're going to match it. And the other side, you're going to turn over, and you're going to see that on the other side, each time it tells you a sefer, a perek, and a pasuk, you're going to find that one. And then you are going to look for a word that has to do with Havdalah, maybe something we use like bisamim, or ner, or esh, or something having to do with the time of Havdalah, like Shabbat, or Seit HaKochavim, when the stars come out. So now's your chance to sit down, and for a little bit of time, we're going to learn together, okay? If you get stuck, you can always chat us, and we'll try to help you. Enjoy. Okay. So nice to see so many of you learning. And you can, if you haven't finished the sheet, you can keep going in a little bit. I wanted to take a few minutes for all of our wonderful students to stop for a second and realize that there's a big thank you that you owe to your parents, because you are so blessed to be in a school and a place like Berman where you can learn and receive a Tanakh. And that is because of the choices that your parents have made and the time and dedication they give and priority they give to your Torah learning. So the Torah learning that you have acquired so far and have accomplished is partly theirs, as well. So please take a second to turn and say thank you to your parents for the help that they have given you to reach this point. All right. A few more thank yous, but first of all, thank you to my students, the new fourth graders, for making every day so much fun. And I'd like to specifically thank the Nick and Andrea. Thank you so much for sponsoring our program today and for always being the first ones to jump at any opportunity to sponsor Torah Learning. I'd like to thank Rabbi Dr. Kastan, Mrs. Israel, and Mrs. Hanloff for their constant support and guidance. When it comes to things in our school, they're always so helpful and willing to lead. I'd like to thank the entire fourth grade team. You can see so many of your teachers are here tonight because they're all so proud of you, and working with you makes things so much easier and more fun. And I'm so blessed to have such an incredible team. And you are so blessed to have teachers who all are so invested in you that they come on their own Motzei Shabbos just because they're so proud of you. A special thank you to Rabbi Pepper for helping coordinate all the tech and for leading us in that most beautiful Havdalah. Thank you so much. And the utmost endless thanks to Michal Rouse and Jill Lotion, who literally I could not have done this program without. They really helped me think out of the box, and those beautiful bags that you have and every little detail looking beautiful is so much them. And thank you so much for bearing with me and for all your time and effort and work into making my vision come true. So thank you so much. I really am endlessly grateful to you.
Okay, boys and girls, there's one more person who hasn't been appropriately thanked. So I'm going to tell you that in a recent meeting that we were having with the principals, we were talking about words to describe teachers when we're thinking about hiring new teachers, or what does an ideal teacher look like? And we talked about some words, and Rabbi Dr. Kastan was leading this conversation about what is the right word for bringing excitement to your learning. And we talked about words like passionate or charismatic, which is a word that some of you know and some of you don't know, but you're sitting next to grown-ups who can help you with that one. And enthusiasm. And those are the different kinds of words that were in this category. And I don't think it matters which word it is. I think you know what I'm talking about when you're in class with Mora Aviva. I think when Mora Aviva teaches you Torah, she does it with such an excitement that you cannot help but be excited along with her. And that's what we want every teacher to do. And so many of your teachers do. And we are so thankful to Mora Aviva for teaching you with this special charisma and love. And what I ask you to do when we thank our teachers is to stand up and show kavod and appreciation and thanks to Mora Aviva for teaching us Torah. So I want everyone to stand up for a minute and thank Mora Aviva. Thank you, Mora Aviva, and thank you for allowing us to embarrass you, because part of educating our children, as you know, and Mora Aviva doesn't like this part, but we told her, and we've told her every year, that part of the things we teach at our school is Hakarat HaTov. It's very, very important. So thank you, Mora Aviva, for allowing us to thank you. Okay. Boys and girls, I am so proud of you, and may you always treasure this special Tanakh the way you do today. May it be part of your living and your life every single day from here on forward. Mazel Tov to all of you.
Mazel Tov and good night. We'll see you on Monday.